What's up, Scribe Tribe? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your leader, Tim Green. I write in the pen name T Green. We're going over phase 11 of how I developed my series. Nailed it. And it's actually the last episode. In the last video, I had to correct myself from previous videos about it being 13 phases. Luckily, I didn't say how many it was going to be because I've changed it again. I actually had this phase and one more phase originally planned, but I'm actually going to put them together here. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've been going over my developmental plan and how I go about developing my series. The links to all those videos are down below so you can get caught up. And today we're going over, like I said, phase 11, which is processing and writing. We're going to call the first part processing. Something I've learned over the years that when I finish outlining something and going through all my planning and everything and just try to jump right into the writing, very, very well. I do a week or two maybe of starting strong writing and everything, but then as the weeks go on, I start to fade. And the reason is because I realize I haven't had time to process everything I've done. I've been working so much on getting this put together. Well, I know it, but I haven't had my brain process it because it's always the next thing I gotta finish. I gotta finish this, I gotta finish that. And I really learned this last year when I was doing my contract that I did with some friends to write 3 books in 1 year. One thing I realized I was doing, I was developing the outlines, the new outlines and scenes list as I was writing the book before it. And that didn't help. Writing a book, I was developing a book, going right into the next one because I had only a year, and it was a nightmare. And this actually happened with book 2. My brain needs time to process, so that's what I do. And sometimes it's a long time to process, but not always. But I'll let it sit for a month or two, depending on what's going on. If I'm writing something else and I've been developing this on, then I can just sit until I'm done with what I'm writing. If not, then I'll give it a month, a few weeks. It all depends on when I'm like, okay, I think I have enough time, and it's all intuition. Something will spark that book in my brain and start thinking about it when I'm not. And that's the processing part. And that is technically the end of development process. But I wanted to throw writing on here for a reason, because something I found out that I learned last year specifically, what works really good for me is writing all the books together. I didn't really write all the books for that series because there's going to be another trilogy after it. That's what I'm going to be doing going forward, is I'll be writing all the first drafts for all the books in the series, because one of the things that will help me see is the overall arc and how it comes together in each individual book alone, because I like to see the little trinkets throughout the books so you can see them like, oh, this was actually mentioned here. So doing that actually helps me do that. And that's why I added the writing part on here, is what was supposed to be phase 13, was going to be phase 12 to this video, is now part of this phase. But when I actually do start writing, I will write the entire series, first draft. And then I'll eventually go back to book 1. I'm going to be focused on individual books. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my writing process, developing a series. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of this. I know 11 phases is a lot, but like I said before, many of the phases are going back and forth constantly in the early elements of developing a series. Yeah, that's all I have for you. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You made it to the end of the video. You're clearly liking what I'm talking about. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join the tribe. You're going to want to know when all my videos go live, and that's the best way to do it, because this is my last video that I'll be uploading before the relaunch of this channel under the Writer's Mindscape brand. If you're wondering what the Writer's Mindscape brand is, it's actually the name of a podcast that my buddy Adam Daly of Zop Gaming and I do over on that channel. That was a world building podcast where we world build a brand new world for you so you can see how we took our own advice. Links below to those podcast episodes. I'm going to be actually using that brand going forward for this channel. If you want to know more about the rebranding, there'll be a link down below so you can see why I'm rebranding, what you can expect from the rebranding going forward. Link down to below for that. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning about how I go about developing my series. This process is never ending in changing as I grow and seeing how things work. All my developing my series are never the same. They're always different within this process. I hope you guys have a great running week. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.